So we've been working on that's backwards, on a butterfly box, and I got a little carried away with, with the flowers and everything else. But they were just so fun to do and so simple. I have hey Grat, welcome. Hey Anna, hi. So glad you guys are here. So I decided that I would go ahead and just floral the entire box. And of course, when I did that, I had to add a butterfly or a dragonfly or two. And I did it. One of the things we were talking about the last time, if you weren't here, when you're doing your treasure boxes, is to marry the top and the bottom by a picture of sorts. And it kind of gives it a better overall 3D flow. If you can bring it on up. I didn't do so well on this side, just a little bit over there. Bring it on up to the lid. So, anyway, and then where's the front? There's what the box looks like at the top. And then on the inside, this is where I'm at right now. I don't know how your guys are going, but I worked a little bit. Oh, thank you, Anna. I do love the colors. I got a little crazy on the inside. I don't even know why I did this. But, all right, so I made a green butterfly, created, and that is the unicorn spit mixed at the same time with a matte acrylic medium. It's just like pouring medium, it's just that it's matte. And because I wanted to do matte on the rest of it, I thought I would matte this. Then I decided, nah, I'm going to add dried flowers, so I threw the dried flowers in there. And now, of course, I'm going to resin it. So I've got these gluing, so they're still a little damp, so I can't put resin on it right now. But here's I know, I know. But here's the inside, bottom, and that will also be resin. So I went ahead and put those extra taller flowers in the bottom because my resin will flow over the top of those. So, and of course I had to throw some sparkle glitter in there. I still may throw a little bit more in the resin, but I'm just going to set this box aside for now because I wanted to show you just a couple different things that I found while I was doing this box. One is I went and I sprayed it. And I thought I just was going to seal it with a spray. And it was Minwax. And it worked really well, all on the part where there wasn't any spackling. Oh, thank you, Shannon. Welcome, my moderator. Oh, Grat, thank you. Anyway, so I sprayed it, and I sprayed it twice. And I just still was not comfortable because I have a crap load of spackling on the sides, you know what I mean? So I want it sturdy. So I went ahead and I brushed this matte medium all over it because it's a sealer. And now the outside is fine. Nothing, even when I try and dent it with my thumbnail or something, it doesn't do that. So it's nice and sealed. So that's what I used on the outside of the box. The inside will end up to be resin. And I'm just going to do that offline because most people know how to do resin, and if you don't, you can go to YouTube and figure it out like the rest of us. Rude. Anyway, there's that. Thank you guys. I'm so glad you're here. So what I wanted to share with you was this wax medium, because we're working with unicorn spit a lot. And this is something that is just a cold wax, and you dip a rag in there and then you just wax it on and then take a clean rag and wax it off on your unicorn spit pieces. It's safe for them, and it doesn't give it, a high gloss, and it's not really even a matte. I think it's more just like a satin, if you know what I mean. So it's not for everything, but sometimes you just want that, and it's a good thing to cover your unicorn spit in. Also, any of the pouring solutions, you can mix straight into your unicorn spit. And I'm going to show you a little bit of how to do that today. I'm just going to play because I got a few things when I was working with that box that I'd like to kind of share. And it might help out or not. I don't know, but let me get something. We know when we start our boxes, we take off the hardware and all that, but we're not going to do that because I'm just wanting to use the top. And I want to show you what happens with the unicorn spit and different things underneath of it. So gloves, for sure. Oh, this balloon is a reminder that Thursday we we get to do balloon dips for our unicorn spit box. So, or whatever you're working on, it could be a planner, it could be anything. It could be a frame, a wood frame, or it doesn't even have to be wood, it could be metal, you know, like those signs. So anyway, but you do need a balloon, or just any balloon. Or I actually blew up my gloves the other day because I couldn't find a balloon and I didn't want to leave the house. So yeah, you can blow up a glove and just use the fingertip for it. And if you don't have gloves, then you can always use just like a plastic spoon because it's got that rounded. That's what you're looking for. It's just kind of that rounded smoothness. So when you do your balloon dip, it'll work. So that's Thursday, you guys. I hope you come in. Okay. So, let me show you a couple different things. I do like to wet my boxes down so the unicorn spit is, you know, more bold. But let me show you a little bit of just what happens when you put just your acrylic gesso straight on your board or whatever you're working on. And this is how I got to my butterfly. And, you know, 9 times out of 10 when I'm trying to demonstrate, it's like epic fails. But let me just brush this gesso in a little bit with this brush. But I don't care. I mean, that's all part of it, right? The fails. Because they always lead you to something pretty cool. So, let me just brush it all over my box so I can reuse this easily. But I heard a few people kind of lamenting on the butterflies, understandably, because, you know, all of the tutorials make them look so easy, and they are, but sometimes you want to bring it a little bit farther than the tutorial will show you. You want to take it past that one stage. So this is an easy way to do it, to me. So you just put your gesso down. And it's pretty much what I do with other canvas paintings when I'm painting with unicorn spit as well. And while your gesso's still wet, you just go ahead and put your spit colors on there. All right, you guys, what color spit should we put on this for right now? Pick a color. Anybody. We've got sparkles, blues, purples, we've got browns, greens. We've got, this is a pretty color. I'll pick this color for now while we wait. Purple, I got a purple. All right, I'm going for the purple sparkle, of course. And then welcome everyone. We are playing in unicorn spit, working out a butterfly. There's some purple that doesn't have sparkle, just for fun. I want to put a little black in there. I really like what happens when you hit the black in this unicorn spit thing. So I like doing that. Any other color? Anybody? It doesn't matter if it turns poo-poo green. It's okay, because it's just going to be the base. Just the base. That's all we're looking at. Pink. Sweet. I've got a real dark pink. Let me try that. Welcome, Chorito. Chorito Mom? Chorito. I don't know. Alright, so let me get rid of this brush, get a fan brush, and get it damp. Just dampen it with your water. And then just start dragging this stuff across sideways. Should have taken the, ooh, this is so pretty. Should have taken the hardware off. I knew it. Look how pretty that flows. The unicorn spit is like an alcohol ink is how it feels to me when we're doing this. It's very pretty. Okay, so that's like step one. You got your gesso down and you drug your brush across it damp and you get all those gorgeous, and to me it's just like fairy wood, you know? And this is when you really start playing. And this is also where you're like, oh, but I might mess it up. Yes, yes you will. Guaranteed. Do it anyway. Because otherwise you won't know what else could happen. You can always get back to this. That was easy, right? So, oh, hey Randall, welcome. I know you're working. Sherry Carr. Oh, Adam's here. Sweet, thanks guys. All right, so I'm going to go for another fan brush, but I'm going to go littler. And let me just add a little bit more colors, just for fun. I'm going to put, I don't know if I can get this in there. Yeah. And a little bit more black. I want to darken this up a little. I'm going to dip it again, just a little bit of water this time. Yellow! I saw yellow, hold on. Perfect. This is going to be something. They make the coolest combinations, you know. All right, now I'm going to go for my little square brush if I can find one. It's just this, I wore a crown for a second. What was that? Oh, thanks, Randall. Oh, flowers. That's the best thing I've ever seen. Thank you, guys. Thanks for all the likes and the love, everything. So it's one of these, just these flat brushes. And I want to dip either into white or into black, and I'm not sure which on this, so I'm going to go ahead and try white first and see if it just gets swallowed up, and it might. But go ahead and put that on the side, because this is the thing you're going to be smushing into your canvas. Okay, so you just dip your brush, and let's say I want to put a butterfly. So I am just going to tap my brush. I'm not painting a butterfly. I'm not drawing. I don't have to draw. I am simply tapping up to where I see in my head a butterfly wing. That's it. Dip it back in and tap it. That's it. Just keep following it around wherever you want your shape of your wing. And in a minute, you'll see all those bottom colors, those base colors, start coming up through the white unicorn spit, which is exciting. Okay, so that would be the upper wing. So simple. I know it's very quickly done right now, but I mean, from there you can just continue to embellish, and we'll keep doing that in a second. Here's the lower wing, starts just below that little upper wing, most generally. And I do like to have those little tails. What are they called? Yellow tails have them. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I haven't done the body. And what's interesting is all of my butterflies before, I always started with the body. But it became a problem. And then I discovered how to do it like this, and I've never gone back. So I just start with the wing, because you know, if you're doing 2 wings, then it's very hard for me to get them, you know, even. And I'm just dabbing whatever's left on this brush onto my wing, just to give it a little bit of a difference from what's underneath the box. Wipe that off a little bit. Oh gosh, I just love what's happening with this unicorn spit. I'll show you in a second if I can get there. Just dabbing along the edge, not painting, not drawing, just touching the unicorn spit with the very tip of a square brush. That's all I'm doing. You know, in my head, I see the butterfly. I don't know what you guys can see because you're not in my head. But anyway, there's the upper wing and the lower wing just by touching white on top of a background while it's still wet. And the key really is while it's still wet, because you want those colors coming up through the wing. Okay, say you want a little bit more dimension. I would probably bring this wing out a little bit farther to the front. And then, like, just below that, I would put his little second wing. It's kind of kitty wampus. Black in with the white. Give me some little clubs. Can't see it, so oh, somebody's visiting. Thanks for all the likes, you guys. What is unicorn spit? Chorito. It is a gel stain. So you can put it in with your acrylics. You can leave it just like this. You can mix it in with alcohol inks. There is no acrylic polymer in it, so there's no glue stuff like you find with your acrylics. So that's why if you're going to use it as a pour or something, a lot of people will stretch it and put it in with a pouring medium or something like that. And you can water this down big time. If you're just like misting to make fairy wood, you can put it in a mister. It's basically a very highly saturated stain is what it is. That's why the gloves. Because once you stain your nails, you just have to wait till they grow out. But thanks for asking. That's a great question. Bye, Grat. Thank you so much for everything. You have a beautiful day. Okay, so there is our white butterfly-ish right there. I want to detail it, of course. But anyway, so there's one way to do it. Let me show you a different way. Let's just pull this through. I don't like to draw out something. So this helps me. I just continue to go back and forth until I start to see something. And you know, I know you know, it's most generally ocean. But anyway, I did just cover the butterfly. Yes, I did. I'm just playing in it right now. So let's try some purple on my brush. Just straight sparkle purple. And I want to just kind of tap it in. just see if I can dip my paintbrush into the white. Just see if I can start moving colors around and see if I can get something to go from. Like I need to see something here. And that's how I begin to do it, is I just start putting colors either on my palette or on the piece I'm working on, and then just start pulling it across. If it gets really muddy, that's okay. You can just seriously wipe the whole thing off, and I have done that before. So I think that's kind of a cool thing. So it looks kind of like an abstract rose to me. So I will go ahead and make this little guy have a butterfly coming down on top of it. Just glob on some unicorn spit enough that it is able to be pulled through with a long, skinny brush. And it is so fun. Just to see all the little squigglies that you can get with it is just amazing. It just flows so nice. Okay, now I want a body. My body didn't show up very much in black, so I just went ahead and added those same colors to it. Put the two little dots, and then one little line is all I'm putting. They can figure the rest out on their own. Let me see, this one isn't, I think I could do better on that. So it could just be a swirly little plant of some sort. But anyway, I like the butterfly. So let me show you the butterfly. Put some white. All right. It just changed everything. I don't know if it's better or not, but it did change it. But isn't that fun? And if you don't like it, then you just do that. And you can start over. I know, the pain. But look how pretty the box itself is going to be when it's like that. I get rid of the goop. This is why I wore this shirt, because I already had previous unicorn spit stains all over. No music. I'm just adding some color on the end of my brush just because I want to get some ideas going, and I don't have a lot of ideas. So when I am in that situation, I use a square brush, flat square brush, and start mixing it in with colors and just start patting it all over the place until I start seeing something. I want my music back, that's for sure. I don't see any fairies in this yet. This is beginning to look like a box to match Shelley's Ore that I just sent. I'll put some darks here, I think blue. You guys, if you get some unicorn spit, at least throw a little bit of sparkling in there just for the fun of it, because it's not glitter, it's iridescent, and it's very pretty if you like that kind of stuff. I do. So whenever I see something that looks like that might be a body of water, I like to go sideways with a fan brush with it being damp and pull some colors to make it look more like water. And then if I see a land mass starting to show up, then if it's in that water area, just go ahead and make some blue down below the land mass. And then when you go back over it with the white, it'll already be kind of shadowed. So that's a thought. So I don't know what else. Let's see. I wonder if Miles will set a moon in there, huh? Or something. Let's see if we can pull that dip thing off again. I don't know how big it should be or where it should be. Trying to see if there's writing on it. No, there's nothing racist. Okay, so I'm putting white on this. Some unicorn spit. And you know what? I really liked the way it turned out the last time, where it wasn't actually perfectly round. It looked so more natural. Got a couple bubbles on that spit. I guess it's pretty thick. Anyway. Alright, so what I do is just go like that. And then pull it back up again. I don't like the way that one turned out, so, but let me show you. It's not bad. I just don't like the little floral looking thing. However, if there's going to be a fairy, I could have a leaf as a moon. Who knows? Or maybe she's sitting on the moon. I don't know. If there is land, some mushrooms would be cool in my mind. You are correct, Shannon. That's a great idea. There will be land. I like it. Let me mush my moon around because I'm not happy with this little thing going on. So I'm just going to tap it. I very seldom draw with my brush. Mostly it's a tap or a smush. Okay, I can work with that with clouds later. So I say butterfly box and it's just sitting back there waiting on me, but it's just resin and I can't do it right now because I glued my flowers down. Just like some dark. I really like the dark colors in this unicorn spit. And I'm tempted to do like something fun, so let's do that. Let me just throw some black and some purple. Just want to play. It's going to be a short one today because I've got stuff to do. I thought I was going to do everything last time. Yesterday, get it all done so I'd have everything finished, but that didn't happen, so. Alright, surprise. There's gonna be a fairy around here somewhere. Just, I don't know. I just thought a tree might be kind of cool. Never know what's gonna happen on this box. And I could totally wipe it out again. That'd be alright. Thank you, Shannon. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It'll get better. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this box. It's just random weird, but it's interesting. Let me see. I want some darker. So I'm going to take this box and I'm putting black on the edges. And if you go to your photo apps or whatever, you can find Vignette, which is basically where I'm going with this, which is it goes from, this one will be darker to lighter in the center. But I want more depth, and I want you to be drawn into this more. So that is one way to do it. Keep the light in the center and then do your vignette thing around the edge. It's also a very cool look. Even when there's no design, it's still so pretty. And I just start with straight black on the edges. It really looks good to pick up whatever color you have in the box, the darkest color you've got, and mix a little black in with that. Because after you do your black edges, then you're going to come in with that next color and start softening with a lighter color. I'm just patting the brush straight down onto the box. I'll show you what I got in a sec. And I don't know how far I want to come in with that vignette, but it's easier to go slow and come in slow than to take it back out, because you've already got somewhat of a background going, and that's going to be hard to duplicate. So unless you're going to mask over it, you really try and avoid messing that up. So go slow coming in. One of the pretty things I like to do with the vignette is make it part of the actual painting itself, like the shadows of leaves or grass or whatever it is that you're working on in that area right there. I think that's a nice touch. All right, so for now, you'll get the idea of the vignette. It would come in farther, I think, on this one. Just my own personal opinion. So yeah, but that's fun. I mean, there's just so much you can do, you know? And then if you don't like it, just do that. And start over. You can wipe it off. Or you can just add to it. Don't be afraid to start over. That's where you're really going to learn. That's where I do anyway, is, yeah, I like it, but I don't love it. If you don't love it, it's like clothes. If you don't love it, if something doesn't make you gasp, keep going. That's my mantra in life. Okay, I'm just going to get these gloves off right fast and add a little bit of water to this. I'm going to leave it just like this because it'll be a fine start for anyway, I guess that's it for today. I hope that helped with the butterfly. Let me just show you right fast one more time, just in case. I'll do it in black. So you just draw the top wing any which way you want. You can have little fancy things coming or whatever. Then come out almost to the end of that top wing and then start heading down for your bottom wing. It's the easiest way I know. And then that's the really fun part because you can just start dropping little bits of spit anywhere you want. Add a color you want. Anywhere you want. And then just pull it through. If your brush is damp, it'll give you some really cool cell looking things. Don't choose the colors I chose. It's not real pretty, but at least you get the idea. So you don't have a body on this and it's going side flight. You can't see the rest of it. And then you just take a straight line with your black or whatever color you want for a body. My black and everything is all mushed up because it's all wet. And then just put the body there on the edge of a brush. Just really don't overthink it. You know, just think of a butterfly wing and do the top one first, then the bottom one. And then you add your body and you're good. You know, you can pull out a second wing this way if you wanted a butterfly that's in a different position. This is not going to match these colors. But anyway, you'll know what I'm talking about when I do it. So you just pull out that wing this way. Same. It's messy, but you know what I'm saying. Thank you. Thanks for all the likes, Sherry. So it could be just the one or it could be both. It doesn't matter. But use your fan brush because you can get like lots of different sizes. And I got 3 hog bristle fan brushes that are like medium soft in a set for $11 off of Amazon. This is one of them. I've made it a mess already. But anyway, so, and those are perfect because it's little and then medium and then the bigger, not huge, but bigger. And the edges of those, just play with it. Just play with it. There is no right or wrong way. Every tool you find, I don't care if it came out of your kitchen, can be used to create. And some things are just amazing that they're not even supposed to be used to paint with, and yet they actually are amazing. I mean, look what we're going to do with the balloon dip. So it's fun. Thank you. Okay, well, I guess that's it for me today. So y'all play with your boxes, finish them up, because Thursday we're doing the balloon dip. Go get your balloons and unicorn spit. And if you don't have unicorn spit or you prefer to work with acrylics, that's cool too, because that's the ones I've been learning from, or they were working with acrylics. So anyway, but it looks to be fun, and it'll be messy, so get some gloves. And love and light to everybody. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for all the love and hearts and gifts and stuff, and the flowers. Love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Bye.